Hello from Gardening at Douentza, and this video is coming to you from the Azores Islands. These are islands in the Atlantic Ocean, and today we're going to take a ferry trip from the Azores island of Pico to the Azores island of Faial. But before we do that, I've got to back this hire car onto the ferry. Wish me luck. Phew, that was a bit hairy, but we made it. And now we're going to visit this garden. It's a garden of Indigenous Azores plants, and we were very excited to learn about it and to finally get here. But I have to tell you the truth, and the truth is that I was bitterly disappointed with this garden. I think it's just basically that Azores plants aren't very interesting, and I didn't think much of the way they were displayed in this particular garden. So in my opinion, it's not worth the extra expense to go to Faial Island if you're just going for the sake of seeing this garden. But don't worry, the garden happens to have an orchid collection too, so the journey wasn't entirely wasted. And to illustrate exactly what I mean, here we have a big clump of Rumex azoricus, which, can you tell what it is? Yes, it's dock leaves, giant azure dock leaves. But at least the garden did have a couple of these exotic foreigners that have invaded the landscape here in Azores and that are particularly beautiful, like tree ferns and bananas and lovely things like that. And I'd just like to clarify at this point in time that conservation work is, of course, extremely important. It's important that we conserve Indigenous plants. I just think you need to display them a bit better if you're going to charge money to come and see them, and especially if you're going to tout the garden as something that's worth hopping from one island to another just to see. Let's see those orchids. And now it's time to have a look at the Orchid House here in the Botanic Gardens in Faial, and it's quite a small collection, but we'll have a quick look around it. Now, originally this garden had a small collection of orchids, but they inherited the private collection from a Finnish family who, well, was impressed with the Azores and decided to leave their entire collection here to this foundation, to this garden. And we're going to take a little look around and just have a look at them today. Now, it's not enormous, but we are bound to see something interesting. And I suppose the first one that strikes is this amazing clump of Sobralia. Such an absolute and utter monster. Look at that. Not in flower at the moment, unfortunately, but wow, I bet it has flowered, you can tell from the top, and I bet it's amazing when it's in flower. Now, what we can see down here, if we just get to look properly, is that they have mounted a number of orchids on volcanic rock or lava rock. And yeah, interesting. You can tell that the orchid roots bury themselves deep into the lava there. So we're going to continue around this way, and we can see that a whole load of Oncidium types have been mounted on that post over there. I'm wondering if it's a tree fern. I think it might be a tree fern, but we'll see better when we get around. Down here we have some Cattleyas, some unifoliate Cattleyas, which aren't in flower unfortunately. And there's a little bit of rot there, but they must be spectacular when they are. And these look like paphs to me. The leaves just say paph. Very few names unfortunately, but so it goes. Okay, so moving around this way, and we have some more orchids. Cattleyas, I think, and a lot of them are really, really yellow. Now we all saw how my orchids went quite yellow from overexposure to light in the greenhouse this summer, but these ones really take the biscuit. And look at those down there. They look like bananas, don't they? So moving around a bit further, and we encounter some large clumps of cymbidiums in active spike. There we go, lots and lots of them. And how are these grown? They're planted in the lava rock, but I can't actually see down there how much earth is mixed in with them, because I've certainly seen cymbidiums planted outdoors here in the Azores. Okay, so moving around, we have some tree stumps with cattleyas and oncidium types, very yellow oncidium types mounted on them, and you can see that there is sunshade up above, but yeah. Here we have a Gongora Galliata, lovely citrus smelling one, and I wonder how mine with 4 spikes is doing at home. It's missing me, I think. Right, so we're going to move around this way past some air plants, and here we see Stanhopea in flower. Now one thing I will say is that the labelling isn't very good here, but we all know this is the Stanhopea, and fantastic, wonderful scent. Beautiful, beautiful specimen. Stanhopea speciosum, it says. And as we know, there are a lot of species Stanhopeas, so that's not very useful. Walking past, and down here we come across another multitude of clumps of Paphiopedilums, not in spike, but they must be glorious when they are. And in fact, these ones have flowered, as you can see here. Another enormous clump of Sobralia down here, and here we have a treat. An amazing, wonderful Vanda tessellata perhaps, but there's no label so I can't be sure. But it is so pretty and so scented. Really unusual flowers with that purple lip and the brown spotted markings. Gorgeous thing. And I think there's another one around the other side in flower too. We can see that this Vanda here above actually has a spike. So that's to look forward to, I guess. Well, I won't get to see it. And around the other side now, we're kind of getting to the end of our tour. I think these are cymbidiums down here, planted in among the lava rock. And we have posts with mounted Vandas in profusion. There's something purple and spike around the back there. Ah, look, another one of those Vandas in flower. Very, very nice. And something purple up there. Looks like a Miltonia, but I can't actually get to it. We'll just zoom in like that. Pretty purple colour. And right down here at ground level we have an enormous dendrobium mounted on a lump of lava rock. It is perhaps Dendrobium speciosum, but again I'm guessing because, you know, there are no labels, and this one has flowered several times. That there twice from the one point. No flowers on it at the moment, but hefty looking canes, really, really attractive. And over here in front of the Vanda we have Maxillaria, I think. the licorice, or the coconut scented orchid, and it has a very distinctive habit, kind of pseudobulbs grow on top of each other. And this isn't in flower either, but yeah. It's potted in lava rock, as we can see there. And we have an orchid pot with holes in. And that kind of brings us, let us move around here, past some air plants. Cymbidiums, Sobralia, Paphiopedilums, a couple of Cattleyas, and we're back at the entrance. I hope you like this jaunt around the Orchid House. Thanks very much for coming along with me to the Azores, and well, check back for, I guess there'll be more Azores adventures for you. Bye for now.